welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I created this look using affordable products. And for today's look, I am specifically going to give you guys my thoughts on the Coastal Scents products that were sent to me in the mail. I did try to film this video yesterday, but when I finished the video, I imported my footage, everything got deleted. So basically here I am refilming it again, which I don't have a problem with because I personally liked this eye look. I'm actually really excited for today's video because Coastal Scents was actually the first brand that I've ever purchased makeup from, just because I wasn't able to afford higher end makeup at 15 years old. So Coastal Scents was definitely the wave back then. I had a lot of their brush kits and eyeshadow palettes. You guys know those palettes with all of the colorful eyeshadows. That was definitely my first palette. Cannot wait for you guys to see how I created this look. So if you guys are interested, then please keep on watching. So let's start off with this lovely brush kit. I think Coastal Scents are very affordable when it comes to their brush kits. Okay, so I'm just gonna start off with applying my foundation, and it looks like in this brush kit there's only 2 brushes for foundation, and this brush is their flat top buffer brush. Usually I like brushes that are denser than this. It is a little bit flimsy. Okay, so now I'm just gonna be using their flat top buffer brush. Wow, I'm actually really surprised that this is like blending out my foundation super nicely. Yesterday when I filmed this video, I didn't use this brush to blend out my foundation, so I'm actually happy that I did give it a try, because when I first saw it I was like, it's not gonna blend out my foundation nicely, but it really is. Alright, so now moving on to concealer. For concealer today, I'm gonna be using their concealed palette. So in their concealed palette, they do have 10 concealers and 6 color correcting shades that you can use to cover up any dark circles or pimple scars. And I'm going to be mixing this one and this one. What I noticed yesterday when I was using this, that the concealer tends to dry very quickly. So with this concealer, you would have to just apply it and then blend it really quickly. This concealer is not very full coverage. If you're into like the light coverage under your eyes, then this concealer is great for you. Okay, so now I'm just gonna quickly just conceal my eyebrows, and I'm just gonna use this shade over here. And I'm using the concealer brush that came with the brush kit. Alright, so I'm going to be doing a little bit of cream contouring. Okay, so I'm going to be using a little bit of this shade and this shade right here. The brush I'm using to blend out my cream contour is actually by Coastal Scents. I've had this brush for a really long time now. Okay, so I'm actually really happy that I tried the cream contouring today using these concealers. I'm actually really surprised with how nicely it blended out on my skin. I would definitely use the more darker shades to contour because I actually really like the way it blended out. And when I filmed this video yesterday, I did not use the shades to cream contour. I didn't even do cream contour at all, so I'm actually really happy that I did it today. This palette came in empty in the mail, and they were nice enough to give me all of these pots to put it into the palette. On this side I have my blushes and my bronzers. Now these are the 3 bronzers that they sent me. I feel like the bronzer shades are a little bit off, especially for my skin tone. This is a little bit too light for me. This will definitely look good on anybody who has fair skin. This one I did try this one yesterday when I was filming this video, and it didn't look as bad, but I'm gonna have to use this one today because this one is a little too dark for me. This is in the shade Glazed Ginger. I'm just gonna use the angled brush to apply the bronzer. I don't know if you guys can see, but this bronzer is like not applying in this area right here. So I feel like my bronzer does look a little bit blotchy. Okay guys, so moving on to blush. This is probably one of my favorite blushes that I tried yesterday. This one is called Charisma, and I like how it has like a nice sheen to it. Ooh. And trust me, a little goes a long way. As you can see that it did apply on a lot. So I'm just gonna buff that out because I applied on way too much. Moving on to eyes, I'm gonna be using this shade right here. It's called Neon Red. Okay, so I'm just gonna be using the detailed eyeshadow brush that came with the kit. And I'm going to be applying this color right in my crease. I'm gonna grab a more fluffier brush just to blend it out even more. Okay, so now I'm gonna be using the Revealed Matte Coastal Scents palette. This palette has 20 eyeshadows that are completely matte, which I am obsessed with. I love matte eyeshadows. So I'm gonna be taking this warm orangey shade right here, and I'm going to be applying this right in the crease. I'm going to be applying this purpley shade right in my crease. This shade right here to create a cut crease. And to apply the concealer, I'm just using the angled brush that came with the brush kit. So I'm just taking the tapered blending brush that came with the kit, and I'm going to create like a fade right in this area. So now I'm going to be taking the shade Light Pink. I'm going to be placing this eyeshadow shade on the area where I put concealer. So I went ahead and applied my eyeliner and my lashes. So far, I just want to show you guys a close-up of my concealer. I don't know if you guys can tell, but my concealer, it is creasing way too much. I feel like the concealer is actually falling into my crease lines under here. I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts towards the end of this video. I'm going to apply some of that violet purple that we used on the outer corner of my bottom lash line. And then I'm going to take that tapered blending brush again, and I'm just going to make sure I blend the two shades very well. Now to brighten up my inner corner, I'm going to be taking the highlighting shade that they sent me. It's called Croissant. I'm just going to apply this right in the inner corner. Wow, that's like really brightening. Okay guys, so now it is time to tell you guys how I feel about everything that I tried out today. So let's first start off with the brush kit. I love the pink vibes that this brush is giving me, but if I would have to choose a brush kit, I would definitely not choose this one. And it's not because it's bad. I don't think the quality of the brushes are bad, but when it comes to like brush kits, I like to go with the brush kits that have the most eyeshadow brushes in it. I really enjoyed using this brush to apply my foundation. It applied my foundation really nicely. This brush is really good for powder, so I'll definitely be using this brush again. This brush, I definitely won't be using again. I really didn't like how it applied my bronzer. I felt like the brush was probably the main reason why the bronzer applied on very blotchy. This brush, I always like to have a lot of foundation brushes, especially when it comes to clients. I love these brushes just to spread out the foundation. I actually really enjoyed this angled brush right here. I like to use it to apply the concealer. I also used it to fill in my brows today. So I love a multi-purpose brush. So this is a really good brush that came with the kit. And then also I love these other brushes. They were great. If I'd have to rate the brush kit, I would rate the brush kits maybe a 6 out of 7, just because I wish it had a little bit more eyeshadow brushes that came with the brush kit. Okay, so I'm gonna say what was good about it and also what was bad about it. So I really like the cream contour shades. What I don't like about it is that the concealer is not full coverage. The concealer was actually falling into my crease lines. I even set it with my setting powder and it still did that. So I just don't recommend the actual concealers. Definitely love the blushes that were sent to me. Not everyone has the same skin tone, so I love how I have a lot of different blushes that I can use. I'm just gonna give this bronzer another shot using a different brush, because that one brush that I used in the kit, I felt like it applied it very blotchy. I am actually really obsessed with the consistency of all the eyeshadows that I used today, especially the formula. It's great. The shadows are very pigmented. This palette is just simply amazing. If you're into mattes, this palette is definitely for you. I'm into mattes, so I know that when I'm looking for a everyday kind of eyeshadow palette, this is definitely going to be one of my go-tos. But overall, I enjoyed playing with different products, and I just love how everything was super affordable. We'll be listing down below everything that I used today. And yeah, guys, that is it for today's tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video.